Hi, welcome back to the Intelligencer Monthly. We're talking about no-bid government contracts and the so-called pay-to-play system. In this portion of the show, we have with us Milton Berkes, longtime chairman of the Democratic Party, and Harry Fawkes, longtime chairman of the Republican Party. Gentlemen, you've been listening to the conversation. Let's start with Harry. Harry, what do you think of this idea of pay-to-play? Is there such a thing?
I don't think there is such a thing. You know, I think the county has. I've been there 23 years as the chairman. Over all of those years, they've hired professional people, whether they be architects, engineers, lawyers. And I think the key is to this, and why there is no law that you can't hire who you want, is because they want to hire the people that they think is the best qualified, that they have confidence in, that can do the job. And I think over the years, the Republicans and the county commissioner have shown in all the projects and all the things that they've done, there has not been any scandals, anything. But there is no pay to play.
Okay, thanks, Harry. Now, Milton, Harry's party controls the county right now and basically makes the decisions. At one time, your party did too, so you may have been in a similar situation with the so-called pay-to-play. How do you feel about what's happening right now with the Republicans and what happened when you were in charge of the Democrats?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Republican Party has controlled this county for 27 out of the last 35 years, so we didn't get much chance to play. The few times that we had control of the party, we tried to develop people who were low bidders, and I know that was done. I'm not sure that pay to play is anything more than a really nice advertising slogan that you folks have come up with in the press. But there are other ways to do things if that's the perception. And I think we can do things differently, but you got to remember what it costs to run a political party and to put forward a campaign. In my party, again, unfortunately, I have to struggle to pay the rent. Now, I don't get any of that patronage except the leavings from some of the others who contribute to much bigger to Harry's party than they do to mine, and who generally don't contribute to ours at all. But we just, it costs a lot of money to run a party.
Let me flat out ask both of you gentlemen, do you encourage contractors who get government work to contribute to the party? Do you think that's a good thing and something that is logical and realistic?
I encourage anybody that I can get to contribute to the Republican Party. I mean, they don't have to have contracts with the county. They don't have to have anything. We've got thousands of people that contribute to the Republican Party.
Yeah, I encourage everybody who contributes to Harry's party to contribute to ours. And I think that the whole problem would be solved if there were equal contributions. If a person got a contract and then said, okay, I'm going to contribute to both parties equally, then you don't have the aura of buying a way in and that pay-to-play thing.
Now, we had an engineer on just before you guys sat down who said he was looking for work in Bucks County, and he thinks he's qualified. He doesn't contribute to the party, and he said he wasn't considered. What would you say to a fellow like that?
Keep trying.
No?
Well, yeah, I think Harry's right there, but also, I think that it ought to be open to everybody, that nobody should feel that they're shut out of the system, and nobody should feel that they have to contribute. But if they're going to make contributions, then what they ought to do is contribute to both parties. You know, Lenny, it costs us $26,000 to mail a letter to every registered Democrat in this county, just one letter. So you know what it costs to run a campaign, and that you don't get that. But where else are we going to get money? I mean, that money doesn't grow on trees, and it doesn't come to us from our own committeemen and committeewomen because they're just ordinary people.
If a professional firm, say, contributes $10,000 a year to the party and then puts in a bid for some work, do you think he's factoring that $10,000 contribution into the cost of doing business? Do you think he's got that into his bid, and therefore if the bid is awarded, the taxpayers basically are subsidizing the parties?
I don't know what he thinks. I can't answer for him. But if he gets contracts or whatever he does, I ask him to contribute to the party.
Yeah, I would guess it's a part of doing business, but there's a way to avoid that. On the national level, they've talked about the campaigns being financed by the federal government, and on a local level, if the media and meaning all the media, meaning television, radio, and the newspapers, gave equal time to both parties for advertising space, we wouldn't have to spend that much money in running a campaign, and we can get the message out. You know, what's really sad is that with all the money both parties spend, and with all of the work that your paper does and other media sources do in publicizing it, we only get 30% of the people to vote. And that's sad. You know, we're doing something, all of us are doing something wrong if we can't get more people interested in the system.
Now, all 10 of the county commissioner candidates, Republicans and Democrats, say that they want to see a change in the system. As chairman of the parties, do you think that that's good? Do you think there will be a change? And what kind of changes will there be?
I can't answer. They didn't ask me what to write on their application they sent in. And I don't have anything to do with that. I think they're all said that they might make some change. What the changes will be, I can't answer for that.
Well, one change I would make, Lanny, would be to change Bill Carlin's registration to Democrat. That might be helpful to my party.
Bill Carlin is a Republican attorney, an advisor to Harry, and a fellow who gets a few contracts.
And a nice guy, but
nice
a good,
guy,
big
qualified, talented. He gets a few jobs and makes a few contributions.
I would say Bill Carlin is respected, whether you go to federal court, state court, county court. He's one of the most highest respected and the best qualified lawyers in the United States. So we're using the best. And if the newspaper would like, go check the bills, what his is, compared to some of the other lawyers and what they are. You'll find out that they're very fair.
Ed, quickly, now you talked to the 10 candidates. What kind of changes are they looking for?
I think they want to open it up to all professionals, regardless of party, and may the best person win the contract. And if it happens to be Republican contributors, if it happens to be Democratic contributors, or if it happens to be non-contributors, so be it. But there won't be any perception that the work is given to Republican contributors, no matter how qualified they may be.
And suppose an independent panel decides on giving a bid to this particular engineer.
Well, at least there'll be some documentation as to their reasons, and it won't appear that it was simply based on political considerations.
Okay.
You know, there could be other ways, Lenny.
Well, we're going to have to deal with that in another show.
Oh, okay.
Listen, gentlemen, thanks very much for coming out. Ed, thank you. I thought you did a wonderful job on these stories. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and we hope you tune in next month for another program. And just a reminder, please stay sharp and keep reading the newspaper. Thank you.